Well, Florida pushed its winning streak against Tennessee to 7 straight on Saturday with a 33-23 victory. Gator quarterback John Brantley looked sharp, while the defense held the Volunteers to -9 rushing yards. Do you think Florida can challenge South Carolina and possibly win the SEC East? Jonathan.
Well, after talking about the Tennessee game, I want to personally offer an apology to the college football world for every game that I picked last week. It seemed in every game somebody got hurt. You've got E.J. Manuel going down for Florida State, Justin Hunter going down for Tennessee, and Ole Miss, their entire pride got hurt. Now, on a serious note though, I see South Carolina going into the Florida game. I think that's going to decide the SEC East. I see South Carolina going into that game with maybe 2 or 3 losses. Florida about the same way. South Carolina draws them in Columbia this year. So I do think the East may very well be decided in that game.
Although they did well, I don't necessarily think they are exactly prepared or they're as ready as they could be. I mean, you have to be strong on both defense and offense. Not saying that they're weak on offense, but I definitely believe that they need improvement. Only gained 347 yards, whereas on defense, they did an awesome job. One thing I like most about defense is they put pressure on Tennessee's quarterback, Tyler Bray, and that's exactly what you need in this type of game. Put pressure on it. Do not make this team easy. Make your opponent sweat. Absolutely do not make it easy for them to gain yardage. That is what Florida is basically doing, and I think they're going to do good. They have the mentality for it. They're on a good pathway, so if they stick with that motto, they should come out very well.
Well, Jonathan, in reference to what you said last week, I think you were drinking the wrong orange drink because
probably
you should have been drinking Gatorade because Florida is back on their feet with their head coach, Will Muschamp, and he's giving the Gator Nation what they want, and they want W's, and that's what he's giving them, and I think they're going to be a contender for the SEC championship, no doubt. I think Florida is back to that program that they lost last year.
I feel like it's just gang up on Jonathan time right now.
Jonathan, I agree with you.
And here goes more.
Well, despite every inclination I had, I decided to agree with you, so I'm not the one who can make fun of you. No worries, dude.
Well, guys, things are getting a little heated, so let's move on. In a game that featured 5 interceptions by the Commodore defense, Vanderbilt routed Ole Miss 30-7. This was Vanderbilt's 5th win in the last 7 tries against the Rebels. Is Ole Miss's head coach, Houston Nutt, going to be in trouble?
I think he is, and normally in a situation where maybe there is not as much insanity in one college's fan base, I would say, no, 1 more year, give them 5 years. But after starting off so strong with 2 Cotton Bowl victories in Oxford, there is so much pressure right now on Houston Nutt and Ole Miss. I feel bad for the guy because of the way he got run out of Arkansas. Probably one of the few coaches who's ever been fired the day after defeating the #1 team in the nation and eventual national champion LSU. So at this point, I'd say unless he can pull off 2 or 3 huge victories in the meat of their schedule, then I don't see him making it past this year. What do you think, Jonathan?
I do agree with you on that. But moving on, when we come back, we'll discuss who will take an early command of the SEC West. And later, we'll sit down with a Mississippi State legend. You won't want to miss it.
Welcome back. The Arkansas Razorbacks will travel to Bryant-Denny Stadium Saturday for a very important SEC West matchup against the Alabama Crimson Tide. The Razorbacks lost 4 straight in the series and struggled last week to put it away against Troy. Can Arkansas's high-powered offense get anything against this very stingy Alabama defense? What do you guys think?
I think Arkansas is going to be contained for the most part, and the reason why, Bama's defense only giving up 170 yards per game held Kent State to only 90 yards in that game. This will be the toughest environment that Arkansas quarterback Tyler Wilson will have played in. So the big question is, can he handle the pressure?
I think he can definitely handle the pressure, but one thing I have noticed is Alabama, they're not going to let anyone come on their home turf and defeat them. I mean, like I said, Alabama, they are holding a very exclusive title right now, and I think they're good on offense and defense. So merely Arkansas just depending on them or their side, I just doesn't think it looks good for them. I'm sorry. What about you?
Like I said, I think Arkansas will be contained. I like Alabama in this matchup.
Me too. I'd have to agree. I think Alabama's going to be successful this year. I really doubted in our first show, as I told everyone, I really doubted how Alabama was going to perform. But Arkansas is kind of struggling this year, so I'm in favor with Alabama. I'm going to go with you on that, Jonathan.
Last year, very, very, very close game in Fayetteville. However, no more Ryan Mallett, no more Niles Davis. I agree with you, Jonathan. Alabama's defense gets it done.
No debate on this one?
No debate on this one.
We're all with
Well,
the
coming
Tide,
back from
right?
the break, we'll sit down with former MSU head football coach Rockey Felker and let him tell you what the Bulldogs need to do to continue their pursuit of a championship.